Hey there, this is your girl, Angela D. Stribling, with a new After Sunday coming to you just live, just quickly, just to talk about some things that's been on my heart recently in regards to the up and coming election. We're up until 2 weeks left for you to get out on November 5th and cast your vote if you haven't made it through a mail in ballot and done it early. Um, I just want to thank all those who've taken that time to understand the importance of voting and how we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, who, when voting wasn't even afforded to us, when they were beat and just mutilated because it was such an important thing that we were removed and permitted not, it was not permitted for us to vote. So I just want to just come on here and have you understand the little importance of why voting matters. If you remember back to the last election, and which in reality is the reason why I got involved. I was working from home, just watching all the madness happening with the pandemic, and we're going to go back even further than that, before the pandemic, right? Before the pandemic, I was my book had released, and I was traveling around sharing my story. And I was on my way to Baltimore, like the following weekend in that March. I'd already had a date set up to attend some event when everything just kind of fell apart. And as if, like everyone, we didn't understand what was actually going on. I remember being at my niece's party and we were just confused. And, my son, Fred, he was like, Mom, this thing is serious. And, you know what I mean? He had been home because his job had committed him already to home. And, my job was just waiting because we had never understood something of this magnitude. So they was rushing to try to change everything and get everything together so we could transition to home, right? But just remember those feelings of fear and uncertainty when that was going on. And just wondering what the world was looking like and how did this even come about, and how this man who had the book on incommunicable diseases decided to not even use it because it was from Barack Obama, who was the previous term. And as a result of that, this pandemic just went wildfire, like somebody struck a match, and all these lives that were taken as a result of one man's choice, if he would have been done differently, could have saved lives. And it actually was the catalyst for me to decide to get involved and start being involved in politics, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot sit still and see this man become in office again. And which is why the reason why I chose to say, listen, if that's happening in the federal government, it might be just as bad locally, right? And that was one of the reasons why I decided to run. But secondly, that day before he got on that plane, like when it was time for the inauguration, I woke up early because I was afraid this man might do something to end the world. Like he was like a mad scientist and still is to this day. People I don't understand take the seriousness in this. But it is a big deal. And I know some people are focused on money and how he, can help them as far as, those tax breaks. But what about your family? What about your grandmother that might need that social security that you can't cover for her? What about people who are on assistance and need those type of programs? And those are the things that I just need you to understand and think about. But more importantly, people say a lot of things to get in these positions. And I'm grateful that I was one who didn't get into this for selfish ambition. It was truly to serve. And it was truly to help those people who can't help themselves or don't have the power to be able to, be a part of those seats to make those decisions. But please, I'm just really begging you, don't listen to what a person says now, because this is just the rhetoric to say what he needs to say to get in that office again. But I just want you to remember all the things that we went through during that pandemic, how you were locked up in that house and couldn't leave. You were afraid for your parents, your grandparents, in the type of work I do every day. I talk to people all over the country during them times. And when I tell you the stories that I heard broke my heart every day, because people were leaving out of here. People that we've known personally were leaving out of here. So I just really want you to understand, okay, you might not like Kamala, but you don't have to like her. You might not like the fact that she's not married to someone that you might feel is suitable, but that's not your business. What her business is, as a woman of color, she is going to make the best decisions for the people without selfish ambition. The other guy, on the other hand, he is not to be trusted. And I need you all to sit back and understand that our lives, again, depend on it. Now, it's just, you know, sad to me why we don't understand the importance, because during the last election, it was closed for weeks. And then I was saying this to my hairstylist today. Remember during the pandemic when he said, oh, to Dr. Fauci, maybe if we injected ourselves with bleach, this would all go away. Listen, remember how crazy those times was. And I just don't want that to happen again. We're not where we want to be, no, but we are better off with her, because I just, in my heart, am afraid if he gets back in office, just think on it. Think about it. It takes 20 minutes to stand in the line if you haven't mailed in your ballot. Sometimes doing the right thing means not thinking about you. Sometimes doing the right thing means thinking of other people. And if you don't care to vote for you because you feel your life is okay, then do it for someone else whose life might not be as great as you. So this is just Angela D. Stribling with the new After Sunday podcast, just coming to you to just have you think a minute. I don't have any investment to Kamala Harris other than I know she'll be a better candidate than the other guy. So I just wanted to jump on here and just make a point. Again, you know what I always say, take care, and remember, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.